Hello, welcome back to another Ruffa Sports Cards video. In today's video, I have probably a pretty quicker video. Well, hope I say that, and then we go through a lot of things. But just kind of wanted to talk about a concept that I thought could be very useful for you as a card seller, a card collector, just a person in general when it comes to anything at all. Especially when when it comes to your own property and your own trying to sell stuff and all that. But first off, let me say thank you to the channel membership program and the channel members for bringing you this video. So there's 4 channel members currently on the channel membership program for YouTube. It costs $5 a month. It's a service that, pretty much helps me out as a content creator. Gets me a little bit of extra revenue to, get motivated and hopefully potentially make better and better content in the future for you guys, especially as more and more people of you join that up and all that. But there is Mr. Junk Card Dog, you got Volcano Joe, LJ, and you have Michael Debates, all on the channel membership program right now as I am talking. So I appreciate you guys very, very much so. And yeah, so there's also links down below to join Ryan's Cards LLC Discord server, which I would highly recommend for selling right now. If you're a seller of cards and you're not in Ryan's Cards LLC Discord server, you are very much missing out on that marketplace as a seller. But yeah, so let me get right into this video. I just completed my Whatnot stream, kind of the first one doing multiple different sports again. I've mainly been doing football for the last 8 months, 10 months, maybe even, maybe closer to 8, I would guess. But now I've sold a show with a decent bit, maybe 90% or so of football, and then 10% of baseball and basketball inventory. I accidentally forgot to run these ones. Sometimes when I'm doing a stream and all that, cards will get pushed up against the box and I won't be able to know, but that just means I have inventory for next week. But would have meant I would have had a little more revenue coming in, but also it means I have a little less to ship out. But this one wouldn't have been much time to ship out. But nonetheless, it wasn't anything super wild. I didn't do my average preparation for a show, like length and all that, and I kind of wanted to take a little slow. I wanted to take a step back and all that, and I'm trying to prepare for the card show. There's a card show this Saturday that I'm slowly preparing, getting my mindset right for. Hopefully find a lot of really nice cards to sell and whatnot from the card show. Now I can source basketball and baseball now, so I'm kind of refining that aspect of buying things and all that too. Kind of one of the big things is that I was a little worried about buying basketball and baseball, but basketball and baseball kind of honestly outperformed my football even, which is wild because football used to be the one that was doing wild during this time period up until the draft, up until preseason. That was why I finally just decided to do only football. But right now, baseball and basketball are doing wild for me. So if you're like a football only seller, a basketball only seller, you're like, maybe it's just for me, maybe, it might be a decent idea if you're hearing this to try doing that. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about a purchase I tried to do at the local trade night that my local card shop hosts. But I thought this was a pretty interesting topic and video idea to talk about. I'll pop up the card up here. It was a Bijan Robinson Donruss Elite Turn of the Century rookie autograph, number 199, PSA 10. It's not this exact one up here, but you get the gist. This was a card that was approached to me to sell off from someone's collection. The last comp of it was $300 on this card. This could even be more wild of a story because somehow when I was looking up the comp on that card, I thought that the autograph was selling for $300. It looks like the last sale on the PSA 10 of it was probably $75. So I offered, what was my offer there? 280%, 275% of comps. You'll hear that in a second here, but given the context and the now knowing that was a super high overpay, know your stuff when you're going to sell stuff. You're here and all that. This is me just walking to the trade night and all that. But yeah, it's wild. I don't know how I thought the card was. I don't know what I was looking up to think that or what, but we'll see what happens. I don't think it'll be something where I realize how I made my mistake or what. But yeah, definitely got saved by the bell by him wanting more than what I was offering because he thought that his card was going to be worth more or whatever. But yeah, a crazy deal all around for sure. But yeah, make sure you do your due diligence here and listen to this story for sure. It can really help you as both a buyer and a seller. Doesn't seem wildly out of, especially, the comp is there, right? That's what a lot of people say. But I don't know. I felt a little skeptical about it because just for one, it was during the peak of the season for one, and that was like when Bijan is very, very hyped up right now as it is, and for a card of his not to sell, especially one so high of number, PSA 10 does kind of limit what will sell of that and all that. It makes it a lot rarer, a lot low pop count, they call it, population count in PSA. So, but it was a little bit of I don't know. So I figured that the card price had fallen. I figured I would be okay with spending a little bit up on it, but I wanted the cards for a certain price too. So I grabbed out a bunch of pile of cards. So I literally grabbed out probably a good 300 or so cards is my guess. And this seller ended up, and the Bijan was one of them. The seller ended up picking out probably a good 3/4 of the total deal, and then putting them aside and saying, well, those ones are the better ones, the better cards that I wouldn't be wanting to just offload, which I was okay with spending up a little bit. It's just I'm also at the point where my my football isn't even doing super hot, so I would rather honestly have bought baseball and basketball and certain things on the off now knowing that baseball and basketball are doing really well and football is just kind of I don't know, football's not doing super wildly horrible, but it's just baseball and basketball is just doing really, really good right now. But as it is, I picked out a ton of stuff. The seller said that those would be the better cards and he just wasn't going to want to offload them. And so then he picked out a pile of 80 some odd cards and then wanted $40 for them. And they were maybe, let me see if there's any in here. Maybe Brian Thomas, Romo Dunze, this might have been some of them, but JJ McCarthy, maybe rookie, Optic Raider rookie Jameson Williams, By Storm, Puka Nakua, stuff that I have to be okay with getting $1 for, and then the off chance I might get a $2 bid, I might get a $3 bid, which then I would get on a $2 bid, I get $1.40 if I'm lucky. If it gets a $2 bid, if it gets a $3 bid, I get $2.20. So on the off chance I do get a $3 bid, that's a nice little upside. But the $2 bid, is pretty much where you have to be when purchasing those cards at 50, 75 cents per. You pretty much are banking on a $2 bid, which is where I don't really like to be much. And in terms of where I wanted to do the total deal for, it was a little off-putting to me that more than half of the cards he put aside and said, I don't really want to do them. They were all the better cards, obviously. And that's, you know, up to the seller and all that. But here's where, as a seller, you should know your stuff if you're wanting to sell a card, because that Bijan Robinson I asked him about and all that, I made an offer on that card with the original lot that we did a deal for, with an Amon-Ra rookie blue scope that I just sold for a complete loss. But the big thing is that the Bijan Robinson had a $300 comp. I offered $240 on the Bijan Robinson and the cards, the lower end cards with the Amon-Ra. So I pretty much made $190 offer. And then he even was like, ooh, I probably couldn't do that for them. What, you know, and he was like, ooh, you could probably do a little better. And then he's like, oh, I probably have to get a little more, what, you know, whatever he was wanting to say. I was like, I don't know, I feel like that's very, very strong and very, very fair. And I was like, here, I'm going to do this for you and see if there's any listed, or if there's, you know, if I can see anything else on eBay. I said, but yeah, technically I looked up some other of the sales of it and all that. And I think I kind of came up with the like $150 number or something like that, or something of the sort. And then that's where I offered him $150 just straight up for the Bijan. And then he thought about it still, and he's like, oh, I probably couldn't do that. Obviously, it's 50% of last comp, but I think I found a new comp that I was just like, that's a little rough. I don't know. And it made sense for me on offering that number just alone for the Bijan when working out the deal number. But the Bijan PSA 10, numbered to 99, red, rookie autograph of him, same exact card, I'll pop it up here, was listed on eBay for $200. Buy it now, $200 plus $5 shipping. So that original $200 offer, very, 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 very strong. When I saw that listing there on eBay, I had to not even be able to offer on the card because of how. And then he also started to kind of backtrack on what he was, you know, originally thinking and all that. He thought he wanted to get more for it than $240 with the other lot and all that. And he then said, I think you could still make money at $150. And I was like, no, I can't make money at $150 on the card. If that out of 99 PSA 10 autograph rookie of him sells, and let's just say it even gets an offer in sales, that is going to ruin that 199 comp, as that out of 99 red is a way better card. So what I told him he should do is I told him he should sell this out of 199 and then buy that out of 99 red. And that night that card sold. So I'm hoping he bought that card. But that's why as a seller, you should know your stuff. You should know, hey, I'm getting offered $240 for this entire thing that of stuff I don't care for. I can then consolidate into a better card of this exact one, a red color match, Bijan Robinson numbered, lower numbered, PSA 10, probably a lot more rare in PSA population report, and then still make 20, 25 bucks profit, like in total, just off the deal in general. That is a deal that should have been snap done. I would have been happy to pay. I wouldn't have even realized the out of 99 was listed and all that. It would have sold from underneath me. I would have realized, and then I would have been like, dang. But because I was in the middle of the deal, he wanted to hope for more, squeeze out more on a very fair offer, especially considering the out of 99 and all that, and the other information that I had discovered when coming to the offer on the card, and then him countering or thinking that, you know, and then he sees that card listed, then backtracks on his original thing when he could have gotten, you know, $50 more than what he even wanted after realizing. it's a thing where if you are going to be selling a card, let's just say here, this Chase Brown Optic Contenders Rookie of the Year Silver Prism numbered to 99 autograph here on card. If there's an orange numbered to 25, I don't know what the oranges are numbered to or what. I think they might be to 50. I could be wrong, or 49 or something from Contenders. But nonetheless, the orange color match here of Chase Brown, lower numbered, rare, is up for higher than what I get offered on this card. And then let's just say that someone compiles it with a bunch of other cards I just don't care about, dollar bin cards. I should be willing to do that deal and snap on that deal instantly. Because then I can upgrade this card if I really do like this card. Obviously, he was a Braves, a Falcons fan and all that, so I understand why. And I'm not saying anything against the seller or at all. That's not my point of making this video. My point of making this video is to maybe help somebody else out that might run into a situation like that. And then also for the sellers or the buyers out there that are looking to resell stuff, if you're going to make an offer and new information presents itself and the seller that you're trying to buy from is a little hesitant or, talks about whatever and doesn't just, when you give them a number, you give them a number you think is fair and says, opens the conversation to then, try to get a higher offer. That's not on you to stand on your offer if new information presents itself. If they open negotiation talks after you say a number, it is not on you to stay firm and stay true to that number you offered. Now, obviously, would I have loved to give him the number? Yeah, I would have loved to if the deal would have made sense to me. When I offered or when I was working those numbers, it made sense to me, right? If he would have snapped and said yes, if he would have said, you know what, that's fair, shake my hand, boom, cool, give me my money, pay up now or leave, then I would have said, here you go, I'm happy to pay this number. But because the negotiations opened up and the seller wasn't happy, that is where I say that is on the seller of the card and not on you as a buyer to uphold your end of a previous just simply that an offer in a negotiation deal. If the buyer or if the seller doesn't like your offer as a buyer and wants more, and then later on backtracks and all that, and then wants lower than your original total offer, that's on them as a seller, and they should have seen that you truly, genuinely offered fair the first time around and done the deal then. Other than that, I don't have much for you, and I will end off there. Got a lot to do, so a little quick one, but all that, and so gotta get some stuff shipped out, gotta get a whole bunch of stuff done for the card shows. Appreciate you guys for watching. Taking it easy with me. I hope I see you in the next one, and leave a comment down below if you have an experience like this, or if you had to do that with somebody, or if you had somebody do that to you, and it maybe even in a different way and all that. But maybe you as a seller experienced that where you should have taken the offer, opened the negotiations up, and now you realize why that seller couldn't offer that anymore, why that buyer couldn't offer that to you as a seller anymore, because you opened up offer negotiation talks and tactics there. So that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate you guys for watching. Take it easy with me, and I hope I see you in the next one. Deuces.